video, we'll be learning about z-scores and standardization. By learning about both of these topics, you will learn how to calculate exact proportions using the standard normal distribution. What is standard normal distribution? The standard normal distribution is a special type of normal distribution that has a mean of 0 and a standard deviation of 1. Because of these, standard normal distribution is always centered at 0 and has intervals that increase by 1. Each number on the horizontal axis corresponds to a z-score, as z-score tells us how many standard deviation an observation is from the mean mu. For example, a z-score of -2 tells me that I am 2 standard deviations to the left of the mean, and a z-score of 1.5 tells me that I am 1½ standard deviation to the right of the mean. Most importantly, a z-score allows us to calculate how much area that specific z-score is associated with, and we can find out that exact area using something called a z-score table, also known as a standard normal table. This table tells us the total amount of area contained to the left side of any value of 2. For this table, the top row and the first column correspond to z value, and all the numbers in the middle corresponds to areas. For example, according to the table, a z-score of -1.95 has an area of 0.0256 to the left of it. To say this in a more formal manner, we can say that the proportion of z less than -1.5 is equal to 0.0256. We can also use the standard normal table to determine the area to the right of any z value. All we have to do is take 1 minus the area that corresponds to that value. For example, to determine the area to the right of a z-score of 0.57, all we have to do is find the area that corresponds to this set value, and then subtracted from 1 according to the table. The z-score of 0.57 has an area of 0.7157 to the left of it, so 1 minus 0.757 gives us an area of 0.2843, and that is our answer. The reason why we can do this because we have to remember that a normal distribution is a density curve, and it always has a total area equal to 1 or %. You can always use the z-score table to do our reverse lookup, which means you can use the table to see what z-score is associated with a specific area. So if I wanted to know what value of z corresponds to an area of 0.8461 to the left of it, all we have to do is find 0.8461 on the table and see what value is that corresponds to. We see that it corresponds to a set value of 1.02. The special thing about the standard normal distribution is that any type of normal distribution can be transformed into it. In other words, any normal distribution with any value of mu and sigma can be transformed into the standard normal distribution, where you have a mean of 0 and a standard deviation of 1. This conversion process is called standardization. The benefit of standardization is that it allows us to use the z-score table to calculate exact areas for any given normally distributed population with any value of mu or sigma. Standardization involves using this formula. This formula says that the z-score is equal to an observation x minus the population mean mu divided by the population standard deviation sigma. Example number 1. Find the area under the standard normal curve between 0 and 2.04. Solution is the probability that z lies between 0 and 2.04. let's draw a bell-shaped curve. Because it is standard, that means the mean is 0. And everything to the right hand of 0 is positive. So we're gonna have positive 1, 2, 3, and 4. And everything to the left-hand side of 0 is negative. So we're gonna have negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, and negative 4. So 2.04 is somewhere on the right-hand side of 0. So it's got to be somewhere over here. And that means we're shading from 0 to 2.04.
I already understand. Now I know.
And that ends our video tutorial.